Well, hello. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to Elegant Sentiments today. Today, we are sharing our weekly greeting card share, and this is share number 12. I'm Cheryl Abernathy, and I'm the owner of Elegant Sentiments, and I'm also an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So I thank you for stopping by. Today, we are going to do some watercoloring, which is a little new for me. So let's go ahead and take a peek at the products that we're going to be using and the card that we'll be making. Okay, so we'll be embellishing with festive pearls. I love these, they're so cute. We'll use Granny Apple Green ink. We're using the Stampin' Up! Water painters. They come in a set of 3, and I'll be using the broadest. Each of the tips are different sizes, so I'll be using the largest brush tip for today's project. Also be using the Fern 3D embossing folder. And of course, I'm back to my designer tags. I love this die set. And we'll be using this die for today's project. And then the sentiment that I'm using is from the Timeless Arrangements, and it's I really appreciate you. So those are the products, and this is the card that we're going to make doing a watercolor background. So we will go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this out of the way so that it doesn't get watercolored, and I'll bring it back on when when we're done. I am using, I forgot to include Fluid 100 watercolor paper. This is a paper that Stampin' Up! Sells, and that's what we'll be watercoloring on today. I just used a full sheet, although I'm going to cut it down. And because I'm going to be cutting it down, I'm able to use some tape along the sides to keep it down as we work, because this paper, as you'll see, will move a bit, and I'm just using some soft craft tape there. And so the colors that we are going to watercolor with, I'm using the Stampin' Up! Ink Reinkers, and I've got boho blue, pecan pie, and granny apple green. And to get going, we just need a little bit of each of the colors. So let's see, I'm going to put them in the order that I'm going to be inking. So just need a drop or two of ink of each color, and you can use, if you don't have a watercolor pad, you can just put your ink down on anything. You can even put it down on a stamping block if you want. Just something that won't absorb the ink color if you're worried about that. And so I've got my re-inker here. I've got a little bit of water in here, but I also have off to the side a little dish with water in it. So I don't really have to worry about whether or not I have ink in the barrel, water in the barrel of my water painter. So I'm just going to, right now I'm getting my brush nice and wet. And I'm going to take a dip of the pecan pie and then just move it off to the side a little bit to swirl it around and get it the color that I want. Before I start adding ink to the paper, though, I'm wetting the paper. I'm just spritzing some water over top of it, and I'm very generous in my spritzing. And you don't have to be quite as generous, but it just works best for me. And this is really simple. There's no no real art experience required for my approach to watercolor. And so you just brush it on, and you'll see that water when it's wet, that water will move that color nicely. And I just swirl the colors together. Put a little bit of boho blue next. Got a lot of color there. And then just take it right up against that color, and you'll see that it'll bleed into the other color, and that's what you want. That's fine. And grab some granny apple green and just, and since it's nice and wet, that color just moves very easily. And you may not want it to move that much, and if you don't, just use less water. And so this is a no-fill watercolor technique, and I really like some of the colors that you get. And you can use any color combination that you like. This is one color combination, obviously, but whatever colors you like together, just mix them together and put them onto your watercolor paper and have at it. And you can make these sections as broad or as narrow as you like. And just super simple. Just brush some color on there with the water. And I like the way, the wetter your paper is, the more spread you'll have. So some people don't want that much spread, but this is what I chose to do for today's project. Get a little more color on that. And you can, there you go. And once you've got it all done the way you want, you've got a pretty piece of watercolor background to use for your project. So we're going to let this dry, of course, and I've already done another piece that's already dry. So I'll go ahead and let that piece dry. And now I can bring back the sample project. And for today's project that we're doing, of course, I've done things ahead of time. I embossed the flap of the envelope, and then I die cut. This is a piece of basic white cardstock that measures 3 1/4 by 3 3/4 of an inch. And then I just took that die that I showed you, this die here, and die cut it into this piece. And then I stamped in Granny Apple Green the "I really appreciate you" sentiment. And then I have, here's the other piece of watercolor that came from another part of this piece. And this has a little more green in it. So I decided to, rather than use the pecan pie, I'm going to use Granny Apple Green for this one. And then I've embossed a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 cardstock. And then, of course, I have my A2 card base. So we're just going to go ahead and put this all together, and we'll see what it looks like using a different piece of the same piece of watercolor, but we're focusing on and highlighting a different color. So I'll just start by embossing, adding the embossed panel to the card front. Oops, want to make sure that's straight. And then that just adds a little extra texture. And then for dimension, I put some foam on the back. I didn't have, I'm all out of the foam adhesive sheets. I'm hoping that my order comes in this week. So I had some foam. I believe in using what you have. And I had some foam, so I'm going to use that. I used that foam to put it on the back, and I'm going to put some glue on. Hopefully there's enough glue. Yeah, there we go. Just put some glue on there. Just like that. And then we'll adhere this to the center of the panel. Make sure that's straight. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and glue the die cut panel onto the front of our watercolor piece. And then that watercolor shows through nicely through that die cut, so you get color throughout. And you can do the same thing with DSP, obviously, but I like the look of the watercolor with this particular design. And just center that onto your card. Get that right up against those edges. Yeah, you want to use glue for this because you need to wiggle it around a little bit, and glue is a lot more forgiving than the tape. Okay, and then the other thing I'm using is these are stickers from Love from Lizzie, and I just ordered them online, and I like them because they come in very small strips, and you just peel off a strip. They've got the adhesive already on the back, and then you can just put it down onto your card wherever you want to use it. And here I'm just using it. Well, come on, work with me. And I just wanted to cover up the line between the cardstock and the watercolor paper, and just do another one. You can get these from Love from Lizzie website, or you can get Amazon sells these sticker strips too. The hardest part is getting the little sticker to go where you want it to go and not stick on you. Oops. Let's see here. We're a little crooked. We don't want crooked. Yep. And just put it down, and then use your paper snips to snip off that piece. And let's see, looks like I missed a little spot there, but it's nice because you've got it raised on foam sheets. You can cut it after the fact. And if you don't want to use the foam sheets, then just cut it before you put it down. And then to finish it off, we'll add some festive pearls, the gold ones. There's 3 different colors in this, or 4. There's gold, silver, green, and red. These came out last year with our holiday catalog, and I fell in love with them, and I use them all the time. They're so pretty, and they really are very shiny. And so when I want a little bling, which I always do, I use these. And you'd be surprised how much they coordinate with. So, oops, I lost my pearl. Ta-da! Okay, there you have it. This is today's project. It's a super easy project, and here's 2 different looks for the same card using the same piece of of watercolor that I did originally. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed our card for today. If you are watching and can leave me a comment on where you're watching from, I would appreciate that. And let's see, if we get enough people that would give me a comment right now, we can do a little giveaway. So if you, I've got lots of stuff in my stash, some products that I purchased and not used. But I have some that I would love to share with you. And if you'd like to participate in the giveaway, just type in the comments #stash. And when I have at least 2 people that comment, we can do a drawing. So I'll give you a couple seconds. And again, that's going to be #stash. And let me put a banner up here so you can see. Just enter #stash in the comments. And when I have at least 2 people commenting, we will do the drawing. So I'll give you a second to do that. And I will prep the giveaway. While you're doing that, and let's see what we get, if we have any comments or not. I'm not seeing any comments. So, and it may be a technical error on my part. If that is the case, I do apologize. If you watch this video and you want to participate in the drawing, you can do that in the comments on YouTube, not necessarily live on the video. And at the beginning of next week's video, I will announce the winner and let you know how you can claim your prize. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a fantastic week. Remember to live graciously. I'll be back next Thursday with another card to share. Bye.